the heavy lifting is done. There's still a few things here and there, but the trailer is usable as we speak. You can take it camping. It's all back together. There is one minor issue. I don't know if I have a dead 12-volt battery, but the battery does not supply any energy to the system. But that doesn't matter because we never usually go camping now without an electrical site. So in the future we might, but right now we're doing camping with non-electrical or with electrical sites. So with much further ado, we'll just go into the trailer. As we put this in our step, just on it, and it just kind of stays now. So the trailer has some stuff in it. I was just testing storage. Put the doors back on that guy because we're not changing him at all. So this is the one big change. We got rid of the storage area that was there, and we're building what we'll call a day bed. Basically, it's a long bench. I have to sew up some pillows for it, just like those pillows there, those cushions for the chairs from the eating area. So that's one of my projects in the future. We have to get foam and cloth material that we want. I do want to cover over that plug. Probably just put a little plate on it, a little bit of screws. But let's talk about the electrical because that's the fun part. So right now everything is working, which made me exceedingly happy. So you can see the microwave there. You can see my little 13.5 volts there, which means that the converter is working. So that's in here. And again, I was testing storage. I'll put that there. So there's the power panel there. Oh, I'll get down on my knee. There we go. So 3 breakers, 1, 2, 3. There's the main, and these go to the services in the trailer, and then the 12-volt stuff. So this is the one going to the battery, which doesn't seem to be working right now. This is a spare. It's disconnected right now. It's another 40 amp service for something. I don't think I have anything that requires 40 amps. This goes to the lights. This goes to what does that go to? That goes to our charging station over there. This goes to the furnace, and this little 1 amp goes to our little, and it's necessary when you're in a trailer and you have propane coming into a trailer, our little propane detector. So right now it's green, so that means that we're not leaking propane, which can be a concern, especially with a trailer this old and rusty in the bottom. So what I had to do, well, this is me just testing. I put the barbecue there, and I put a couple more cylinders here. Probably won't be staying in here. And our propane stove, our cooking stove. Let's see any brought into the relationship with her. Put that over here. Because this is the area. So this is all the electrical. And I cleaned it up as best as I could. You can see the lines coming back from the thermostat and the propane detector. They come over here. This is that thing that displays the 13.5 volts for the DC. So this is the converter. This is the 120 30 amp coming into the trailer. These are all the 12-volt wires. I'm gonna probably put duct tape. This is the dead. There's no fuse on that, and there's a red one in here. It's the same. So this is the red that goes to the battery, and it's not doing anything. I believe the battery is dead, but that's fine. So we got the lights, the charging station, the furnace, and the propane detector all there. And so this wire is going to come down. It's going to sneak around here, and of course it goes out to there, and of course that has to store in here. So what I have to do is I have to block this off. I'm going to put a wall here, quote unquote, as close as possible to this, but still have a lot of airflow. And then over here to protect the wires, it's going to be enclosed again. And there's going to probably be a wall here, so the electrical cord can be stored in here. Now, so that means I can put my stoves and whatever else that use this as storage space. But I want to protect that stuff, so that's going to be enclosed in something. Now overall, this is my makeshift. This is my makeshift building. I knew I wasn't going to see it, so I didn't worry about it too much. But of course, with the window well, with the wheel well here, I had to build around it, and yet still have enough strength to put stuff on top. So that's what I did there. So you can see there's our charging station behind here. 2.1 amps per connector, so 4 connectors, 2.1 amps, and for whatever reason you can turn it off and on. Sure. That's off the 12 volts. There's a plug there already lit up because we have our little light sensing light there for nighttime. The wire goes through here, it comes down here, it goes underneath that thing, and it comes through here. It goes up to this plug here. So there's this plug. I just put in another new plug here. It goes back to there. So there's two plugs on that circuit. I got another couple wires going through there. So I got a plug way back in there. I don't know if you can see it right there. That's for the fridge. That's the circuit by itself. But then another wire comes over here to this plug. And there's a plug out on the outside there that I'm gonna cover over. But I added one more plug for convenience sake, because the microwave used to have a cord that come down here to where that plug used to be. Got rid of that plug, and I moved it right there. Now, I do have to tell Josh not to leave any water here that will spill. I have to come up with a way of worrying about that so nothing happens. But all the electrical's working, and I don't have it on me, but I do verify the electrical work, test all the plugs, make sure there's no ground faults, make sure there's no cross circuits. I have a tester for that, but it's all good, and everything's grounded. But I do have to figure out what's wrong with the battery. I think maybe the battery's dead, but I also think there are these the neutral or minus. The ground is connected to the trailer frame, and that connector looks pretty rusty. 16 years old. So I just might get some new wires for the battery connection and bring it right back to here without connecting it to the frame, the ground to the frame. And because this is also grounded to the frame. There's a wire coming up through the hole. I'll talk about that in a sec. But there's this wire right here that is coming into, so it grounds this box and is connected to the frame. Also, obviously this wire has a ground, white, black, and green. So that's also grounded. So it's grounded to the frame, and it's grounded to the plug, and it's grounded to outside. So I mentioned in my last video that there was almost a dozen holes coming into the trailer through the floor for the various things. So they had the wire for the heater going down to the floor and somewhere, and they had the wire for the stove going through the floor and coming somewhere, the wires for the plugs going through the floor and running underneath into that open space underneath, exposed to the elements. And I'm like, what is any of that? And it's amazing, actually, when I cleaned it all up, they had wires in loops for whatever reason, like good 3 or 4 extra feet of 12 volt wire going to the various things, like this guy here. There was that went to the floor before, and then came up over to this. Why? Because it used to be here. The power used to be here, and it went to the floor, and it came out to the floor right here. So they had a hole here, and they had a hole there. Like, I didn't understand that. So when I ripped the whole thing out, and Sandy and I put the floor down, I said, I'm going to limit the number of holes to the floor. And at that time, I didn't have a plan, a concrete plan, because I didn't know what was expected. But what happened was that I realized the 12 volt stuff could all be bundled in, and it could all come out right there. So I drilled one hole through the floor, right there. All the 120 stays in the trailer. None of it leaves the trailer. You know, you got a plug on the outside there, but the actual wire stays in the trailer. And so I didn't have to go underneath the floor for that. But all the 12 volt stuff, besides the lighting, so here's lighting. Lighting works. My friend Brad years ago got some LED 12 volt lights that take place of their old incandescent lights. But the lighting, the two fixtures, one there and one there, come down here, and get this, it comes all the way down here, and it goes into this little nub here, and it goes down through the floor. It goes to the floor, and it actually goes to here. So it goes here, goes down to here, it goes through the floor here, for whatever reason, because they could have just run it just like they ran the 120 volt cable, but they didn't. They go through the floor, and that comes up there. So this little black and white thing right here, that's the lighting for upstairs, or the roof. I didn't want to change it. I wasn't going to run it through here. It was already run, and it was coming up through. So in the end, I have two holes going through the floor. I have this guy, which I will silicone up so bugs won't, and critters and mice won't come in. And obviously, I have this guy, the gas to the furnace. So 2 holes out of, I removed 10 holes on my floor. Again, it's astounding to me. That's what happened. Anyway, I still love this trailer. I'm very happy we have it. I just noticed there's a gap there, and the shroud's not coming down, so bugs can get in there. And usually those corners are filled with, we use, oh, for crying out loud, this is where you get tired. Sponges. We have a box of sponges that and cut up in little tiny rectangles. And so when we set up the trailer, and I might do a video on that, how to set up the trailer to make it basically bug proof, so bugs don't get into your trailer. It's pretty easy. Just get sponges and stuff in holes like that. So, in the end, I'm very, very impressed. The heater itself still works after all the bouncing around. I mean, you can set the thermostat. It does take it. Furnace came on. So, I did put a bottle up front. It's going to take a while to turn off now. It always does. But the furnace works. I'm very, very happy with that. There we go. It all came together well. So my only thing that's left, Sandy and I are going to paint everything, sand and paint all the panels and whatever. The only thing I have left for construction is I'm going to put a wall along here, possibly right about there, a wall. It's going to enclose this, probably start there, go around here. Down here is going to cover the cables. Then I'm going to put another wall right here, because when you pull this wire in, it has to be stored somewhere. But other than that, I'm going to box that in. I may put a little piece on here just to protect these guys from whatever's being stored in here. So I might just cover that up too. But all the construction is done. Now the sewing begins, because I have to sew. We're gonna put new drapes in here. So I'm gonna sew those up probably this weekend. Because we got the old drapes downstairs, the old curtains downstairs, and Sandy has the material for the 2 outsides. So I'm gonna sew those up this weekend maybe to see how they will look in here before we put it back into storage. But right now, if you're not worried about curtains, we can go camping. Oh, there's the furnace is off now. So there's the one thing we didn't replace. We didn't rip that out because it's small enough and kind of sort of looks like the rest of it after we paint everything. There you go. Happy with it. Cannot complain. The one deficiency right now, as I say, is the battery, and I don't know if it's a bad ground or if the battery is just dead. I had it connected to a trickle charge overnight. I started yesterday at noon and left it overnight, and even halfway through today. And I plugged it in and turned off the 120, and the whole trailer went dead instantaneously. So I don't think that, I think it's the battery. I think even though the ground is rusty, I am gonna just go buy, I'm gonna order the proper gauge. I think it's 10 10 gauge wire and just bring it up to that hole there. So the positive and negative, like the positive all the way comes over here by itself and is connected. But the negative is not. The negative is just a ground, and then they expect it to come up to that ground wire that I showed you before. I don't know. I think it's a little chintzy myself, so if I just get a double pair of 10 gauge and put new ends on it to connect to the battery and then run the right into here, I think that'd be, well, it's obviously it's not going to separate because we still have the ground to the frame, so it shouldn't be an issue. That's it. That's all. Everybody stay safe. We are very, very happy that we can go camping again. Hopefully things will be open in July when we have our first camping trip booked. We took a week in July at some point. There's the curtains there, right? They used to be curtains for our back sliding door, but Sandy says they're not the best, but we have them for free, so I mean we can change them up if we wanted to. Microwave works, heater works, fridge is on right now. I do have to come up with an idea for the fridge though, because when you put it in storage, that door has to be open, and right now I'm thinking about something that would just might come down. So when you open the fridge, you know, it can't come up past this thing because then this will hit it. But if it's here and something comes out from here or something that would just keep the fridge door open while it's in storage, I think that'd be good enough. I'll leave on this note. Look at these wonderful pictures. It's just 4 eclectic pictures, 2 of Josh, obviously, my dad, me, up Eric, and our nephew and niece at their wedding. So we love all our family. But somehow these 4 pictures ended up, I think this, as I might have mentioned, this fridge used to be up in my mother-in-law's room, and she got a bigger fridge, so we got to keep this one. We decided to put it in the trailer, which is one of the reasons why we decided to rent out the trailer, because the old 3-way fridge in here was crap. So this is much better. It's only been plugged in for a while, and it's already cold, unlike the other fridge, which took about a day to cool down. But it is 120 volts, so we are not using this fridge off-grid, which is fine. We're not going to do a lot of camping off-grid. And the heater, I was very happy that it was working again at the end of the day. So that's it. That's all. We have a few more things, but nothing big. This is the entire trailer as it is now. Happy. I just got to work out some more storage. We're going to downsize the number of tarps because all the tarps get stored in that side over there. And we do have a lot of tarps because I'm an old Boy Scout. But I think we can downsize because we haven't needed them for such a long time. Of course, when you do need them, you're going to want them. But we're going to have a few, but not as many as I've been bringing. This storage is going to have to be all worked out. You know, it is what it is. We have to sort out everything because now it's a totally different trailer than it was before. So we're happy. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed making the interior, redoing the entire interior. It was like a lot of fun. I got to use all my skills, my electrical skills, even when a little bit of my plumbing skills with the copper pipe going to the heater from the propane. Even the little handle here that locks these things into place when you flip it over. Everything's working out well. Can't complain at all. We'll see what happens after our first camping trip. Let's see how well it holds up. But right now it is solid, and it's quiet. This end doesn't squeak anymore because of the angle iron, but I've talked about that enough, and I've already droned on too long about this stuff. So again, everybody stay safe, take care. I'll talk to you soon.